Wherever you are. This is our weekly embodied meditation for musicians session. I'm Jennifer Roig-Francolí, your host. I'm the creator of The Art of Freedom for Conscious Living and Masterful Artistry, and I specialize in coaching musicians with Primal Alexander, which is hands-free Alexander technique as developed by Mio Morales, my partner. So in these weekly meditations, which I plan on continuing through this month, this is June 2022, I am going to be with you for about half an hour, and this video is going to be in 3 different parts. First, a little introduction and getting ourselves integrated in mind, body, and spirit to do the second part, which is something incredibly simple and incredibly powerful. It's called TheCyCle. It's deceptively simple, and I'm going to guide you through it. If you want a complete introduction to that, you can find my intro video of that on YouTube. Just go to my channel and you will find a video on relaxing for musicians. But it's much more than relaxing. This work that I do is all-encompassing and totally life-transforming. So that's part 2. We're going to do the cycle, and then in part 3, we're just going to take 5 minutes of silent meditation together. I find that meditating in community, even if we can't see each other, even if we're not in the same physical space, we connect. And even if you're watching the replay, I really believe that there's something that unites us beyond time. So I'm very happy that you're here. Welcome. I'm seeing someone saying good morning on Facebook. I'm actually going to pull up my Facebook group here so I can see names, so I can see who is commenting. I'm seeing someone saying good morning on Facebook. I'll turn off the sound. So yes, Kenya, hello. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. Yes, I can only see some people's names. If you're on YouTube, I would love to know that you're here so that I know this is working. And yes, please say hello and share the video if you like it. The more people learn about meditation in this way, which I find one of the best ways I've ever come across, the more people, the better. So thanks for helping to support this work. So, very quick intro. Meditation is obviously important for every human being. I believe that it's obvious anyway. But we are all musicians here. And I find that it's even more important if you want to be extremely skilled, if you want to improve your technique, if you want to really be able to communicate your art from your heart with effortlessness and ease and joy, if you really want to embody your music with your whole entire self, then it is absolutely essential that you develop an ever-increasing control, in the best sense of the word control, of your mind. Control in the sense of actually letting go of the distractions and the over-controlling kind of concentration that we do when we're reading music, when we're trying to memorize something, when we're working on getting rid of performance anxiety. These are all things I help my musician students with, by the way. And pain. If you want to get out of pain, you need to know how to control your mind. Okay? There is no way around it. This is not hard work, though. We tend to think that we need to focus and concentrate when we meditate and that it's hard. Yes, it's challenging to quiet the mind. I'll grant it. It is challenging, but it's not hard. In fact, when the mind goes off and gets distracted, it makes everything in life more difficult. So, if you want to enjoy your music more, you want to have less pain, or you want to be pain-free, if you want to overcome your performance or social anxiety, this is the first step, and the second step, and the third, and every step has to do with being in charge of your mind, like Leonardo da Vinci said, having dominion over yourself. So let's dive in and do a little bit of this. And I promise this is going to be your best warm-up ever. doing this cycle in a few minutes, and it's going to help you have a great day. It helps you sleep better and have a great week and better performance. I just can't say enough good things about this work. So right now, take a moment and detach yourself a little bit from the screen, from my voice. You might look around, take a breath. You probably already notice that you're feeling a little easier in yourself when you come back to yourself. You are the center of your universe. You might laugh at that because we think of that as meaning we're egotistical, but that's not how I mean it. You're the only one with you 24/7. You're the one that knows you best, or you should. Right? So come back to yourself and ask yourself this simple question. What's happening to me right now? What do I notice about my body, for instance? Check in with your body. What is it showing you? What is it telling you? What are you actually feeling in your body right now? Hello, by the way, I'm seeing some comments. Someone from Romania, hello. You're not seeing it on YouTube. Ah, that is a pity. Oh, it's there now. Excellent. Happy to hear that. Thanks for the feedback. Good. So coming back to our bodies, what's showing up? When I do that right now in this moment, I notice a little clutching here in my chest. And my breathing is a little impeded. Okay, interesting. Now, what else do I notice? There is no need, in fact, don't try to change what shows up. This exercise, which by the way is called ima means now in Japanese. This is like a pre-Primal Alexander awareness etude. Again, developed by Mio Morales. Just take a moment. Whatever you notice is what you notice, and then find out, what do you notice in the next moment? What's showing up now? I'm noticing that my breathing is actually getting a little easier. Now, what do I notice? My left foot just released, and I'm finding that amusing because that often happens when I do this with, on a video or something. My left foot shows up. What else? What do you notice? If you want to put it in the comments, go for it. Again, I'm noticing my breathing. Whatever shows up, it's neutral. Whether it's painful or pleasurable, just notice it. Do not judge it. If you judge it, just notice you're judging and move on. What else am I noticing? Good. What else are you noticing? What else? It's the same thing that keeps screaming at you. Okay. What else? If everything feels great, great. What else? What am I noticing about my body right now? Good. Now, let's add on this question. Is there somewhere in the body that feels relatively comfortable compared to maybe some other places you might have noticed of pain or tension or discomfort, things you might not like? Is there a place that's relatively comfortable? Or if you only noticed good things, is there another place where you feel a bit of easing happening? We want to keep our awareness, our attention kind of moving around. Don't get stuck in any one place. So now ask the question, where else do I seem to be easing a bit? If you're my student, you know this is a very important question. If you're new to my work, I urge you to please, if you have a piece of paper or a pen or somewhere to write this down. The exact words are very important. You're going to be hearing me say this question a lot today. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? Good. All right, so up until now, we've been doing something called ima, which means now in Japanese, again. And we've actually been specifically curious about what we're noticing in the body. That's kind of to bring our thoughts and our attention back to ourselves, back to the body. That's the first step. Now, once we've started to notice a little bit of easing in the body, we're going to do the cycle. Again, there is a complete introduction to this on my YouTube channel. You can find that if you go to just look up my name and look for one of the top videos on a playlist called Relax Everything or something like that. So I'm not going to give you the full intro. You can find that elsewhere. But just really briefly, if you've never done this before, it's so simple. Here's how we're going to do it. We're going to cycle through all 10 fingers, one at a time. Starting with the thumb, you're going to hold the thumb very softly and gently, no squeezing, just softly, and then rest your arms and your hands in your lap or wherever else is comfortable for you, so you don't have to hold up your arms. Good. Now I'm going to count to 4 on each finger. When you do this alone, you can count out loud or mentally. After each, excuse me, after each number, we're going to ask this question. I'll do it out loud for a little while, and then I'll start trailing off so that you can take over, asking the question for yourself, either out loud, especially if you're new to this, that can be helpful, or you can do it quietly, mentally in your mind, just silently. But the very specific questions are important, so do not substitute different words. Almost everybody substitutes the word feel or feeling in the beginning without realizing it. There's no feeling in this sentence, in this question. Okay? Now, before we do it, one more thing really quick. The words are very important, but it's not about the words. The words are like a doorway into an experience that we call constructive thinking in the Alexander technique world, especially in the Primal Alexander way of teaching without touch, which is my specialty. It's how you ask the question. It's the attitude that we bring to the cycle that makes it magically effective. It's very, very interesting what happens, and I challenge you to do this twice a day for a week, especially if you're new to this. It seems like nothing. You may not notice much of anything, and you may think, oh, big deal, this is not going to change anything. I've got this and that going on, but I dare you. Dare you. Somebody just posted in my Facebook group today. She says, "Stupid me. I knew about this for years, and I only just started doing it recently when I started Jennifer's coaching program, and it's changing her life. Even after 1 week of doing it," she says. She wrote this today, unprompted. Right? So, anyway, it's powerful. Don't write it off just because you don't notice much today the first time. Okay. So we're going to ask this question in a light-hearted, carefree manner that actually comes up and out of the body. So ima is actually focusing on the body, experiences in the body. Now we're going to rise above that. We're actually going to kind of transcend it, but include the body. We're not denying or ignoring the body. Whatever you experience is perfect. Whatever you notice is exactly what you need to notice. If you notice pain, great. If you notice pleasure, great. It doesn't matter. You just come back to the question and you ask the question and kind of throw it up and out of you and let it evaporate. In fact, we're going to ask it with just a whisper of a thought so that you're hardly even thinking it. Okay? We're usually very intense in how we think. We need to learn how to be less intense in the actual way that we think. There's so much more I could say about this, but I know you want me to get on with it, so here we go. Let's do the cycle. Starting with the thumb, holding the thumb softly, resting the arms. 1. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? 2. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? Don't look for an answer. 3. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? Who cares? I don't know. 4. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? Good. Index finger. 1. Ask it in this light manner. 1. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? 2. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? 3. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? 4. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? Good. Middle finger. Notice I'm doing this rapidly. It hardly even gives you time to answer the question. That's why I'm doing it quickly. Don't try to answer the question, just ask. 1. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? I don't know, who cares? 2. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? Lovely. 3. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? I wonder. 4. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? Ring finger. 1. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? 2. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? 3. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? 4. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? Thank you. I forgot to mention, keep your eyes open, it's important. 1. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? Just wonder. 2. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? Just a little curiosity. 3. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? 4. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? Moving on to the second hand, holding the thumb, resting the arms. I'll give you the question again, but then I'm going to start trailing off. You take over, mentally or out loud as you prefer. 1. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? 2. Where else? 3. Where else? 4. Index finger. 1. 2. 3. 4. Middle finger. 1. 2. 3. 4. Ring finger. 1. 2. 3. 4. Good. Pinky. Eyes open. Don't answer the question. Just notice what shows up. 1. Where else do I seem to be easing a bit? 2. Where else? 3. 4. Good. So what do you notice about yourself right now? Is there a change? Yes or no? Just put it in the comments. Is there a change in how you're experiencing yourself at the moment compared to how you started out with this video today? It doesn't have to be a big difference, but if you're noticing anything at all that's a little different, that's everything, because this work, the Alexander technique, Primal Hands-Free Alexander that I teach online, the Art of Freedom method, my unique way of integrating Alexander technique for musicians. It's all about just being present, and it's noticing the direction that you're going in. And it's very simple in black and white. you're either, in any given moment, you're either going in the overall direction of with your whole self of more easing, opening, expansion, and freedom, and healing, and positive happiness and joy. Or you're going in the overall direction of the opposite, which is increasingly more compressive, tight, rigid, small-minded, hardening. You're either softening and expanding or hardening and shutting down. And I'm talking about very subtle fluctuations that over time turn out to shape your entire life. And truly, I mean, there's research on how meditation calms you and how stress shortens your lifespan, literally, when you don't know how to respond to stress and you react in a way that brings you in that tight direction. So as a musician, you want to be able to express yourself, your true, authentic self from your heart. This is why you're an artist. You want to be able to share your love of music, of life, of living, the passion that you have deep within you, that you find when you listen to music, when you take it in, when you produce a gorgeous sound. You want to be able to share that with other people with freedom and ease and joy. Just put a yes in the comments if you agree that that's what you want. I know that's what you want. If you don't want that, you wouldn't be here, right? Put a no in the comments. Go for it. But if you want that as an artist, you need to be consciously choosing from moment to moment, whenever you can remember, choosing to go in that direction of more expansion and ease and freedom. Because you are expressing and sharing who you are in every moment, whether you like it or not. So if you're tense and tight and constricted and angry and fearful and just, protecting yourself, it's not bad. It's a self-protective mechanism to go in that direction, but it's misguided and it's based on a misunderstanding. It's harder to live that way, and it's impossible to connect deeply with others. When you're speaking, when you're making your music, when you're in the same room with somebody, there's a barrier. You cannot connect and feel total love and oneness with others and the universe and yourself if you're going in that direction of more constriction. So this practice, TheCyCle, doing constructive thinking in the way that I just taught you, which is truly just the teeniest little introduction to a huge, fascinating, wonderful, transforming world of conscious, constructive control over yourself. Those are Alexander's words. Constructive conscious control of the individual. And control is a tricky word. Usually the way we control is by hardening, actually. But the kind of control we're looking for, which is conscious and constructive, is paradoxically taking the risk to let go of our feeling of control. It's actually surrender and abandonment of the ego. So, as an artist, if you really want to effectively step into and fulfill your potential as a human being and as an artist, and I know your potential is enormous because we are created to be graceful, full of grace in our expression and our artistry. It's what we're made for. It's in you. If you want to let it out, this is the very first step to do what I'm teaching you today. I dare you. I'll say it again, said it earlier. I dare you to learn the cycle and do it twice a day for a week and then get back to me. Let me know if nothing happened. I've never had anybody who's done it twice a day for a week tell me nothing happened. It's basically impossible. Everybody I share this with who does it the way I'm telling them to, not telling them to, the way I'm teaching you and suggesting that you do this with a light, carefree direction that's up and open and carefree, not trying to feel or get a result. Everybody who does this in this way, twice a day for a week, is guaranteed to notice pretty impressive, amazing, surprising things. So I dare you to do it and let me know what happens. And if you really want to learn how this can help you with your performance anxiety in very, very specific, practical ways, I have a step-by-step process. I have an introductory program. I have a premium multi-month coaching program for high-level professionals and beginner amateurs. If you know this is what you're missing and you can sense with your intuition that this is what you need, please reach out to me. Just send me an email, send me a message on Facebook Messenger. My email is jennifer@artoffreedom.me. You can find me, my website. I'm easy to find. Write to me and ask me how this might help you, and we'll have a chat, okay? Let's conclude now with 5 minutes of silent meditation. I'm going to be looking at my clock here. Okay, so today we're going a little over 30 minutes, but I'm free. Right? That's the art of freedom. I get to do what I want. No, I apologize. I try to keep these 30 minutes or less, and I just get excited. I'm passionate about this stuff. It's completely changed my life, and it makes every moment delightful when I remember to pause and do my constructive thinking. And I absolutely love sharing this. So my apologies for going over. Let's do 5 minutes of silent meditation, and let's set an intention. For me, I propose the intention for peace as an individual. I need to take care of myself, so I start with myself. When I do that, it's automatically better for everybody. So I invite you to give yourself that intention for your own inner and outer peace. So individual peace, well-being, and then let's extend that to world peace and the health of our planet. So may all beings be happy, and do this silent meditation however you like. And I'll sort of keep an eye on the timer. Keep your eyes open, keep them closed. Do whatever spiritual practices you might like, religious practices, contemplative, quiet, paying attention to your breath, whatever you want to do. This is yours. Let's start now. So thank you everybody so much for being here today or watching the replay. If you enjoyed this video and you found it useful or interesting, and you know other musicians, please consider sharing this video. You can share it either from my YouTube video. This is broadcasting simultaneously on YouTube at the moment, and in my Facebook group, and also on my public Facebook profile, so 3 places. You can share this video from my public Facebook profile page or from YouTube, but not from the group. So I would really appreciate that, to just expose more people to this incredible work. And again, if you're new to all of this, please give it a try. It's very simple but very powerful in its simplicity to do the cycle twice a day. You can do EMA anytime throughout the day, and it'll help bring you back and get a little more centered and integrated. And it just makes life easier, and it is absolutely so helpful for your music making. This is just the tiniest introduction what I gave you today, but we have so many awareness etudes. TheCyCle is just the first one of many, many, and it's the only one that actually that does not include some kind of movement. Actually, that's not true. I have some other etudes that don't include movement, but most of the awareness etudes start to include moving the arms, for example, in ways that really allow you to move with mindful awareness and calm and peace and effortlessness, and it is the key to accessing a flow state, and to be able to do that consistently. Wouldn't that be amazing if you knew exactly how, and practically how, to access a flow state on command in performance, so that you could really be free on stage and totally enjoy your own music making and sharing it with others. I think that's what we all aspire to, no matter what skill level we're at with our instrument. So get in touch if you'd like to learn more. If you're curious, ask me for details. Again, you can find me easily, but send me a Facebook Messenger or an email to jennifer@artoffreedom.me. That's .me, or any other way. Just send a comment below. And also, in the comments, please let me know what you experienced today, if that was useful or not, anything that came up, and please, if you have any questions at all about anything, please put it in the comments or ask me privately. I'm very happy to have a conversation with you. So, thank you again, be well, and enjoy your day or your practice session or whatever's next, and I give you lots of love. Bye-bye.